What's up, everybody? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. For this Tuesday, May 26, 2020, I am your host, Russ Williams. I'm so glad you can make it here today. I'm quite aware you could have been anywhere in this world today. I know you could have been anywhere in this world today, but you decided to be here with me, and I appreciate that. And more importantly, I appreciate you. So, welcome to Transition Tuesdays on this balmy, like 80-degree weather I think we're getting here in New York City today, which is cool, which is a cool thing. So how is your Transition Tuesday going today? Just thought I'd ask that question, out there, see what's going on. But yeah, man, before we start the show, as I always do, I love to state my intentions for the show. And my intentions is to give you the opportunity to laugh, smile, think, and engage in honest conversations about your life's transition. So that's what we do here on Transition Tuesdays. So who do we got joining us so far? We got Chris joining us so far. What's going on, Chris Finley? How are you, sir? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Glad you can make it. So that's the intentions that we do here every week on Transition Tuesdays. That doesn't change at all. See, we got anybody else joining us so far? Nobody yet, but I'll give shout outs when people are coming on. I'll give shout outs. So, hey, just want to recap a couple of things. I just celebrated my birthday, my 51st birthday, this past Saturday, May 23rd. I want to give a shout out to all the people who gave me like lovely birthday wishes on Facebook and Instagram. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We got KK joining us. What's going on, KK? And we got Karen joining us. What's going on, Karen? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Transition Tuesdays. Great having you. As KK says, mine is going well so far. So great. Your Transition Tuesday is going great so far, KK. Perfect. I'm glad you decided to come along with us. We got Chris said everything is good. Growing up in Queens makes us survivors. We are going to make it. That's right. We are going to make it. We are going to make it. As the lock says, we going to make it. We going to make it. Right, Chris? There we go. Absolutely. We are going to make it. So, yeah. So, just recapping my birthday. Yeah. Had a great time. Didn't do anything. And it's funny. I got dressed up like I was going somewhere. I just decided, hey, look, I just have a video. So I just posted that video. But, yeah, man, I'm really blessed to, make it to 51. I know a lot of people who didn't have an opportunity to do that. So I'm really blessed. That's just the words I have for it. I'm really blessed to be here and to make it to 51. I've lost many friends from this this COVID-19 virus. I lost a lot of people from it. So I'm just happy I got to, be on the other side of it. So again, thank you to each and everybody out there who took the time to send me some birthday wishes. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Yes, as KK says, yes, we did. That's right. That's right, KK. Yes, we did. We are getting over. We're going to make it. We all going to make it. And I'm glad you guys are here to share with me today on Transition Tuesdays. I appreciate it. So, yeah, guys, a couple of things. We got a busy show today. We got a lot to talk about. And, first thing I want to talk about, because, again, I know a lot of things are on your mind, and I'm going to get to those things. The things that are most pressing, like this very current climate that's going on. I'm going to talk about these things. But before I did that, I just want to go over a couple of things that I want to talk about when you are transitioning from employment to unemployment. I want to really state that here right now because, as you guys know, there's or if you might not know, there's been over 38 million jobs lost here in the United States by people. So, people are hurting due to this COVID-19, this pandemic. And, so it's a tough transition that you have to make when you're transitioning from employment to unemployment. So what I want to do is I just want to give you guys, because I always come to you in the spirit of sharing, and I want to give you guys some GPSs that you can take when you're transitioning from employment to unemployment. So the first GPS I have, ladies and gentlemen, is 3 words. Do not panic. Do not panic. Now, keep this in mind. What's the first thing people tell you when you're drowning? They tell you, do not panic, right? You have to tread water. You have to take deep breaths. That's important. Take deep breaths and evaluate your new situation you're currently faced with. So don't panic. That's the first GPS. Let's see who's coming in. We got Chris joining. What's going on, Smooth? Welcome, buddy. KK says, do hope you got to enjoy some of your birthday. In this day and time, we need to celebrate life. No doubt about that. No doubt about that, KK. So just getting back to that, and I'm glad you guys have joined us as well. Chris Smooth, I'm glad you joined us as well. GPS number 2, okay, when you're making the transition from employment to unemployment, okay? GPS number 2, believe that new opportunities are on the way, okay? Which means when one door closes, one door opens, okay? And I want you guys to keep this statistic in mind. It's 85% of workers, they despise their current job that they have. Despise it. Hate going to it. They just hate it. So losing one's job now in this climate may lead to a new opportunity and a better job for you. So it could be a blessing in disguise. So the third GPS I want to give you guys is trusting God's plan and not your own. Because there's an old adage that says, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And all that means is the following. Like when you're losing your job, it happens for a reason. And maybe the job of your dreams is on its way due to God's plan. So keep that in mind. So I just want to just recap really quick before we continue on. Okay, so when you're making the transition from employment to unemployment, which 38 Americans are doing that now in this country now. I mean, that's been the job loss since the Great Depression. So GPS number 1 to recap, do not panic. GPS number 2 is believe that new opportunities are on its way. And GPS number 3, trust in God's plan and not your own. So if you apply these GPSs to your current situation, you are going to be all right. You're going to make it. You are going to make it like my man Chris says. All right? Keep that in mind, guys. All right. Hey, so let's do this. You know, we here on Transition Tuesdays, we move and groove, we transition to different topics. So, you know, I just wanted to just share that information with you on those GPSs, give that to you because I know we're hurting right now. So this might be a little comfort for you, which I'm just here to share and pass on. So next thing I want to talk about, guys, and we got Colleen joining us. What's up, Colleen? Hey, happy belated birthday to you, Colleen, speaking of birthdays. And John is joining us. What's going on, John? Welcome you two and everybody else to Transition Tuesdays. Appreciate you guys. So let's do this. Let's transition. Let's talk about Biden's "You Ain't Black" comment. I want to talk about that, okay? Now, if you missed this, Joe Biden was heard saying on the Breakfast Club to host Charlamagne tha God, he said the following. He says, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, he was talking to Charlamagne tha God, then you ain't black. All right? So Biden, he said this comment, which is kind of strange off the top. Maybe he felt he was so comfortable talking to Charlamagne tha God. I don't know. Who knows? But Biden walked back those comments and he said, quote unquote, he felt a little cavalier in his approach. Now, he also went on to say, I know that my comments have come off like I was taking the African American vote for granted, but nothing could be further from the truth. I've never ever done that. And I've earned the black vote every time that I've ran. So my question to you guys is, do you think, based on this comment, now we're going to center on this comment, do you think that Joe Biden is taking the black vote for granted, especially in this climate of the election? Do you think he's taking the black vote for granted? And let me read the rest of the comments. So we got Annette joining us from the D. What up, though? What up, cuz? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. And KK says, speaking from experience, I've learned to trust in God's plan, and I was able to reinvent myself and realize many more talents I didn't have. Man, there you go, KK, right? Trust in God's plan. He leads us through the way. Whatever God you may believe in or what have you, trust in God's plan and not your own. We got Tanya joining us. What's going on, Tanya? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. We also got Keisha joining us for the DMV. What's going on, Keisha? What up, cuz? And we got Anthony joining us as well. Welcome, one and all, to Transition Tuesdays. Appreciate having you guys. John says, happy birthday, Russ. Appreciate that, John. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, yeah, we just talked about that Biden comment. And KK says, watching and listening to him say what he said was a jaw dropper. It was a jaw dropper. I agree with you, KK. And it really, Biden, who is white, he shouldn't have said that. Maybe, maybe we as black people may be thinking about that. But you as a white man, you can't come out with that comment. You shouldn't come out with that comment. So let's just hope he's not taking, the black vote for granted, because that's how it's been for years with the Democratic Party. They have tended to take the black vote for granted. So this is a situation in which, Biden has to earn the black vote. He has to earn the black vote. And I would say in terms of Biden to really help him out in this case, because right now, it's really pivotal, this comment. I think that, he has to have an opportunity, make an opportunity or make a way. He has to make a way to talk about this situation, kind of nip this in the bud, and go over what Charlamagne tha God was going to ask him about the black agenda. What is the black agenda for Joe Biden? What does he have in plan? What is his plans for Black America? I think he has to have that forum to discuss that. Maybe Charlamagne tha God can ask him again. Maybe he could do that. Maybe a town forum or something like that. But we have to know that. I think as voters, especially myself as a black voter, let's say, I would like to know what is Biden's black agenda so he can earn my vote. So that's so important. So we need to give him the forum to talk about if he has a black agenda, what is it, and to go over these comments and just to see if he's sincere about them. That's very important. I think we should definitely do that, give him the opportunity to do that. And that should be sooner than later. We got Ed joining us. What's going on, Edward? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my man. Appreciate having you. So that's going to be so important. We have to find out, again, is he, he apologized. Was he contrite in it? Hopefully it was. He has no jurisdiction to say that as a white guy. He's talking about, if you vote for Trump, you're not considered black. Who is this guy? He's not black. He can't say that, KK says, I felt that he was taking the black vote for granted, even though he said it like it was a joke. Yeah, that's true. And again, sometimes I think Charlamagne tha God on the Breakfast Club does an excellent job of making the audience feel comfortable. And again, people got to realize where they are as well. So people have agendas, what have you, but maybe Charlamagne did a good job. That's a good job as an interviewer. Make the person comfortable. And then maybe your true thoughts come out, So Biden maybe, he can't think out loud on this one. You got to earn our vote. You got to earn the black vote. And I'll go as far as saying this too, guys. And you guys you guys are going to hear this first. I think with the black vote, especially, bottom line is this. The black vote really helped out Joe Biden in South Carolina. Joe Biden was left for dead in his campaign trail. If it wasn't for the folks in South Carolina, the black people in South Carolina, led by Clyburn there, his campaign would have been left for dead. So I think it would be a huge slap in the face. And I'm sure Joe Biden's people is looking at all his, all his opportunities to have a VP. But I think it will be a huge slap in the face if Joe Biden did not have a female VP, in which there's 3 viable candidates for female VP. And I think he should definitely take a look at that. I think he should choose from one of those 3. And I think if he doesn't do that, I think the black community, again, we're analytical, meaning like, we're not one people, As we hear in the background, we got the people partying out there like they think it's all good. I don't know what's going on here, but that's outside my window. But I digress. But I'll say this is like, again, if Biden doesn't choose, especially with this climate about this comment when he said, if he doesn't choose a black VP, a female black VP, there might be some issues. Because again, I think black people will probably going to take that as a slight, and maybe we might sit this one out. And we don't want to do that. And I want to stress that, guys. Please, if you hear me out there. If you're a voter, do not sit this election out. Because when you do that, that's like a vote for the next person. So don't do that, okay? but just hear people out here what they have to say. But again, I'm just giving some advice. I don't know Joe Biden, but again, my advice would be, based on this particular comment and the three black female VPs that you have vetted it, I think you need to choose one of them. And I think if you don't, I think there's going to be some hell to pay. That's just my personal opinion on that. So, it's all about getting the right candidates. I feel that we got the right candidates there for VP, especially for black females. I think the time is now for that. And that's what it is. And that's my editorial. Okay. But make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. Okay. That's the most important thing. Don't sit this one out. You cannot. So, we got Tracy joining us. What's going on, Tracy? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. And Tracy says, tell them, vote. That's right. You gotta vote. You must vote. Do not sit this one out. You can't. Too much is at stake, ladies and gentlemen. You can't sit this one out, okay? That's just my editorial. What do you guys think? What do you guys decide on that? As Tracy says, hey, yeah. So that comment, we're going to have to see about that particular comment by Mr. Joe Biden. Again, we have to give him the opportunity. I am sitting in here. Got to give him the opportunity to, he said it in a statement, a verbal statement. But again, I think he has to be pressed on this question about, what he said, what he meant by it. And again, we got to put his feet to the fire. What is his agenda for black people? What is the black agenda? What is his black initiative? What does he have in store for black people? That way, when we're involved in this, when we're involved in a process like this, we can now know that, hey, look, is our vote being taken for granted or not? But you got to have that conversation first. KK says, yes, please make sure you vote. No doubt about it. That's right, KK. That's right. We on the same page. That's right. We're here, KK. That's right. We got to vote. No matter who you vote for, you got to vote. It's your civic right, civic duty. And again, they're trying to do these shenanigans with the voting, with the mail-in voting. And, we might have to go out and vote. You know what I mean? All the shenanigans is about to take place, guys. But all in all, we got to vote regardless how we vote. You got to vote. So important. So let's do this, guys, here on Transition Tuesdays. Let's transition, okay, to another topic that I want to talk about, okay? Let's see what I had here. I have all this stuff written down. Okay, next, I want to transition to the video showing police officers kneeling on a black man's neck in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I want to talk to you guys about that. As Dominique is joining us. What's going on, Dominique? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome. So, let me read this. 4 Minneapolis police officers involved in the death of a black man who was held down as he protested that he couldn't breathe have been fired as the FBI looks into the incident. Now, the 4 officers involved in the incident were, quote unquote, separated from employment, according to a police spokesman. Now, what the hell does separated from employment mean? That's like saying like a person's half pregnant. Either you're fired or you're not. Okay, so let's make sure we get that clear. We got Gina, my sister cuz, joining us. What's going on, Gina? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my love. So, now the man in the video, his name was George Floyd. He is clearly saying in this video, please, I can't breathe. Everything hurts. And he was screaming for several minutes before he became silent. Now, bystanders who were filming this urged the officer to release the man from his hold. Okay? So when that happened, and again, you can hear on the video, these bystanders are having conversation with these police officers, especially with the one police officer who's kind of like keeping everybody at bay, but you clearly see the people around him saying like, enough is enough. The guy's not resisting arrest. One lady even said that his nose is bleeding. This is wrong. What are you doing? What are you doing out here? As Gina says, we're not voting for policy. We're voting for survival. No doubt about that, Gina. Gina says, nope. The fact that purposely doesn't watch those videos, she personally doesn't watch those videos. That one got passed away. 10 minutes of agony. Yep, I agree with you, Gina. So let's hear what the Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey said. He said the following. He said, "What we saw on video was horrible. completely and utterly messed up for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes, we watched as a white officer pressed his knee to the neck of a black man. And then he went on to say, quote, being black in America should not be a death sentence. So, I mean, the video is hard to watch, and again, it's these things come up so much. I mean, we got the jogger in Georgia, you got the young lady who was an essential worker in Louisville, Kentucky, driving while black. You got driving, you could be in your home, in your residence, and get shot, by people, like police officers that went down in Texas, I believe, a while ago, like a year ago. These things are critical. But in this case here, guys, I just want to ask the questions. Should all the officers, those 4 officers involved in the incident, should they be charged with murder? Okay, should they be charged with murder? As Ralph R.J. Joseph is joining us. Welcome, Ralph. Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Yeah, so should these officers, all 4 of these officers, I'm including, the one who had his knee on the young man's neck, but the other 3 officers who watched or who, was part of the whole thing. And KK says, don't leave out the white woman in Central Park. That's right. Yeah. Yep. Central Park jogger. Yep. No doubt about it. So, man, it's just, I know it's a tough question to ask, and this is like fresh. This is just came down the pike, but the great thing about it, I know they're going to have the FBI, the feds are going to be involved in it. I'm sure they're going to do an investigation. And before I came on, I did see that they did fire. So they fired these 4 officers already. They didn't put them on office duty or anything like that. So they have been fired, but they haven't been indicted for anything. Gina says, we watched a man take his last breath over a check that was good. They held his legs. He was handcuffed, arms, and his neck. Gina says, yes, murder is the only option for justice. Karen says, what's so sad is that the officer didn't seem bothered at all that he killed the man. You are absolutely right. Karen, you make a great point, because, when we see that, when the man gets in when finally the ambulance comes, they put him in there, and then you see the officer who was keeping the people at bay. He was talking to the actual guy who did the killing with his knee. He had the word cavalier, going back to Biden's, his words. This guy was very cavalier in his approach as well. So that's a great point, Karen, that you say. He seemed like it didn't even bother him. This is like another day in the hood, I guess, quote unquote, which is crazy. Ralph says, hey, Russ, McClancy alumni and a Jasper. Okay, Ralph, there we go. Perfect. I'm glad you can make it on the show, man. Glad you can make it. Continue to come on the show. Tell a friend about Transition Tuesdays, too. My Crusader brother and my Jasper brother. Appreciate you, my man. So, yeah, Karen, again, get back to Karen's comment. You do make a great point, and I need to, continue. I want to take a look at that. And, with people having a cavalier approach like that, you should pay for that. So that, again, that brings me to the question, should we have everybody, those 4 officers, should they be indicted or charged for murder? One, definitely, the guy who had his knee on his neck, him definitely, but should the others be charged? I know they're talking about people going to be doing protesting, and I know the mayor talked about, okay, if you're going to do that, please do that in a respectful manner, because again, we still have this pandemic, COVID-19 out here too. So if you're going to protest, do it in an orderly fashion, wear your mask, involve 6 feet distancing. So he's prepared for the onslaught that's about to take place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So, hopefully people will be up in arms because of this, because this is an injustice. This is an injustice that was caught on tape. Thank God that was caught on tape. If it wasn't caught on tape, we probably never even heard about it, and it probably just would have skated away. So We just need to keep taking a look at this and see if we're going to have some indictments going on here. So again, because those four officers who were involved, they should be indicted in this particular situation because this is unheard of. This is just crazy what's going on. But thank God we had it on tape. Thank God it was on tape. Man, oh man, man. Yup, it's it's just depressing. It's depressing as a black person living in America. You get anxiety watching these things. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but like times when I'm watching these videos and everything, you get anxiety, man. What's going on? These injustices that you're seeing. Oh my God, and just mix that in with COVID-19 as well. What's going on with all this? It's just, man. Sometimes you just gotta take a step back and just breathe and just just be blessed that you're here. Like I talked about in the beginning of the show, I'm just blessed that I'm here, and but justice has to be served in this case and many cases like this going on. But again, thank God, video was shown to show us the injustices that's going on. So now we have to get an indictment on this particular case, and there will be others, unfortunately, but let's concentrate on this one. Let's get some indictments on this because that's a total injustice on humanity, and that's just black people, just people in general. Civil injustices that's going on, and we know we can't have that. This is America. We can't have that. We can't have that. We can't have that. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this again. Before we do that, KK says, "Not for nothing, Russ. We all protesting in this world still hasn't changed much. It's sad to say it's time for our people to take it back to the Malcolm X era. And I'm assuming, KK, you mean by any means necessary. I'm assuming you mean that, correct? Yeah, it's I mean, I'm telling you, it might have to bow down to that, by any means necessary. Annette says, yes, because if the video was not shown, I think they would have washed it away. Thank you, Jesus, on that. No doubt about that, Annette. Yep, no doubt about that. We also have J. Edna Nola joining us. Nolan joining us. Thank you for joining us here on Transition Tuesday, J. Edna. Appreciate you. Yeah, so again, yep, I know it's all I know protests, like you said, KK. Protests, we've been protesting still, what have you. I know it sometimes doesn't change things, but we got to be vocal. We got to be vocal, on our displeasure about what's going on. Like you said, Malcolm X era, by any means necessary. If you don't know what that's about, look that up. Google that. By any means necessary. That's what Malcolm X said. Might have to take it back to that. I don't know. We shall see. Yep. As KK says, yep. KK says, let's be real. All the police trails in. Yep. It's that blue shield. That blue shield is no joke. That blue shield is no joke. They're going to stick with each other, but what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And what we saw there in that video was wrong. And everybody's complicit on that. Those 4 officers are complicit, even though they didn't have those 3 other officers didn't have their knees on the young man's neck, but they are also complicit in this murder. KK says, all the police trails up to the same way, no convictions. Yep. Well, I mean, let's just hope. I mean, again, we got to go through the process, but again, let's get some indictments first. Indictments first that will lead to convictions. So, first things first is, again, what they did is they fired these people, okay, off of the police force, which is good. So the next thing is going to be indictments, and then we need convictions. We need convictions. And a little bit about, and I just was listening to this before I came on today. I heard the officer who had his knee on the young man's neck. He had 3 prior shooting incidences before, so it could be a situation like, why is he still on the police force? If he had these instances, you know what I mean? So that's just something to look at. And KK says, yep, by any means necessary. Google that, young people out there. Malcolm X, by any means necessary. So let's do this, guys. And I want to end. I try to end things on a good positive note. So let's talk about the versus battle. Did you guys get a chance to see the versus battle between the R&B group legends Jagged Edge and 112? Did you guys see that on Instagram, on IG Live? Did you guys take a look at that? Well, It was good. I mean, I enjoy music. I love music, and I love '90s R&B. I just love it. So it's between Jagged Edge versus 112. In my opinion, I think 112 won. I mean, I'm a Bad Boy fan, so I think 112 won in terms of the hits. But I think everybody won because you got a chance to enjoy the music and celebrate the music. But I like one shrewd move by my man Slim, from the lead singer from 112, on the last song that they played, Every Step You Take, in which he was part of that with Biggie. They had that in tribute to Notorious B.I.G. Faith Evans was on there. Diddy was on there as well. But I like the move by my man Slim on 112, in which when he was singing the song, he brought out the Grammy that he had. He was flossing that. He was just showing that around with his big smile that he had. So that was cool. So, but the whole thing was, was a fun event. I like what Versus is doing. And Gina says that was whack. Nah, come on, Gina. He's just showing off his Grammy, man. He just, he was proud of that, so he's just showing that off, And now, if I could be mistaken, Gina, but if Jagged Edge, do they have a Grammy? Because I think if they did, they definitely would have been showing that off. And KK says, I like them both. I love them both. Yes, I do too, KK. I definitely too. And I think we were the winner because we got a chance to see that. And I know, and I heard they're going to be going on tour, both groups. So that's good. That's a good thing too. Now, Gina says the one in Jamaica was fire. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see that one between Beanie Man and Bounty Killer. I didn't get a chance to see that one, but I heard it was pretty good. But this one was pretty good, and I can't wait to see who they're gonna bring up next. Who would you guys like to see for the next verses to come on? Who would you guys like to see? Me personally, I would like to see a Clash of the Titans. I would like to see Diddy versus Dr. Dre. I would like to see that one in verses. Or I would like to see, I don't think you're going to see this one, but I would like to see, I would like to see Jay-Z versus Nas. I like to see that one. And bring back the song Ether. I like to hear that. I like to see that. I would like to hear the stories behind that. So I like to see those two clash at the top. And it'll be fun because they're good, they're good friends now, business partners, the whole nine. So I like to see that. As Gina says, she says for me, I should go to YouTube to check out the Jamaican one, the Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer. Okay, I will do that, Gina. I will do that on the strength of what you're saying. And Gina says Wu-Tang versus Wu-Tang. So you like to see Wu-Tang versus Wu-Tang? How are we going to do that, Gina? How are we going to do that? But you did have, who'd you have on Wu-Tang? You had RZA. He went against DJ Premier, I think it was. So that's something to see. Yep. And speaking of Wu-Tang, and I would say this, I'll be in the first on record to say this. You know how you had the movie Straight Outta Compton? You know how they had that with Ice Cube and NWA and everything like that? I think the next hip-hop movie is the Wu-Tang Clan. Not the documentary that they did, which was great on Showtime. If you haven't seen that, take a look at that, ladies and gentlemen. But I think the Wu-Tang Clan, the movie, will be great. Really defining all of those characters in Wu-Tang Clan. From the Old Dirty Bastards, the Method Man, Ghostface Killer, all those people. That is the next movie to come out. We had Straight Outta Compton. Now we need to have the Wu-Tang Clan movie. So KK says, I like to take it back and see, now Earth, Wind, and Fire versus the Spinners or Heat Wave. Oh, okay. I feel you on that, KK. I feel you on that. I wasn't a big Heat Wave fan, but I like Earth, Wind, and Fire. But Maurice White is no longer with us, so it might be a little tougher spin. But the Spinners, maybe the Spinners. I don't know. I don't know, man. That's a tough one going against Earth, Wind, and Fire. Maybe the Whispers can go against the Spinners, something like that. And KK says, or better yet, the Ohio Players versus Brass Construction. Man, you are taking it back, KK. There we go. I like it. And Gina says, Hulu has a series, but a movie would be like Roots, a week long. I'm assuming you're talking about the Wu-Tang Clan. Yes, Yes, you're talking about that one. Yeah, they do have a spinoff on Hulu about that, like a series, and they did do a documentary on that. But again, hey, look, I like Roots, and I like the way they broke that down, the different segments. They did that for like the New Edition. That movie, they did it for that, so I like to see that. So that's a good idea, Gina. And KK says, what do I know about them? Okay, hold on. Now, KK, I come from an era in which I know about the heat wave and brass construction and the Ohio players and Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm cut from that cloth there, KK, so I know a lot about them. You know, I take it back to Al Green, Sam Cooke, oh, my man, Bobby Womack. These people, these great people, these R&B classic people, that's what I know about. And and Annette says, Earth, Wind, and Fire is that deal, no doubt about it. Earth, Wind, and Fire. And you guys in the D there, and you know, and Antoinette, you guys have a lot of people in the D. I mean, that Motown sound that you guys got, you know, from that Motown era. Oh my God, you know, and you guys still got that living legend, Stevie Wonder. Speaking of Stevie Wonder, who could he go against? Like living legends, who could he possibly go against? Maybe he can possibly go against Smokey Robinson. That might be a nice versus. Stevie Wonder versus Smokey Robinson. Oh, I love to hear the stories on that. I'm here for the stories on that one, man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see who's going to be on the next verses, and I'll be checking that out. In the meantime, like my sister cuz Gina says, I'm gonna go check out the verses with Beanie Man and Bounty Kid. I'm gonna go check that out. As KK says, now you talking. There you go, KK. That's right. We here. We are definitely here. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I was able to make you laugh, smile, or think today during this broadcast, my good friends, you have accomplished something major today. So celebrate your victory. Celebrate the victory of being here. I celebrate the victory of you guys joining me each and every Tuesday here on Transition Tuesdays, and I appreciate you. So, let me do this. As my outro music is playing, I want to thank you guys for listening to and looking at Transition Tuesdays from the bottom of my heart. I thank you. If you missed this episode and other episodes, I'm going to place them on my YouTube channel, Transition Tuesdays, so go check that out. Would love for you to do that. Take a look at past episodes if you would. I want you guys to connect with me, okay? You can always follow me on Instagram at the letter R, Will, so RWILL Transitions, okay, on Instagram. Please follow me there. We'll love to continue our conversation. And if you like my game plan steps that I give, I also have a book called Transition Game Plan, Simple Steps to Achieving Personal Success. You can get my book on Amazon.com, okay? And if you want a personal copy, signed copy, you can always send me an email at rwilltransitions@gmail.com. Send me that, and I can send you information on how you can get my signed copy of my book, Transition Game Plan, in your hands. I would love to get that for you. As before we head on out, KK says, can't no one go against Stevie Wonder. I got you on that. He is the living legend. He's like one of the last living legends that we got here. So yeah, that might be a tough one to get, but hey, we can see it. Maybe it can happen. And Gina says, not a soul. So she's responding to like Stevie Wonder. There's no guy getting him. Now Gina says Stevie and Babyface have the best concerts. Yep. I got a chance to see. I didn't get a chance to see Babyface yet, or Stevie Wonder. I gotta do that. When we get out of this pandemic. I gotta see these guys in concert, no doubt about it. As Annette says, love you, cousin. I love you too, and I love everybody out there. So again, guys, one last thing before we head on out. One last thing, okay? I just wrapped the Russ and Kaylanice Experience, the podcast. We just finished up episode 15, season 1. It's a wrap. It's in the can. Okay, you have an opportunity to check these out. All the episodes. If you haven't seen any of them, you got a chance to binge listen. You can do that. And how you get the podcast, the Russ and Kaylanice Experience, you can go on Spotify, iTunes, okay, on any major podcast platforms. You can do that. Please check it out. Go on there. We had a blast doing it. We're in season 1. We got that wrapped. It is in the can. and it's for you to listen to. So go take a listen to that, okay? We'd love for you guys to do that. So KK says, truly enjoyed today's session. Thank you so much, KK. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Much love. Much love. So ladies and gentlemen, as I always say in parting, happy transitioning, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody.